Hi, ladies. It's me, Yolanda. I cannot see whether I have enough space or not. Okay. Yeah, I have enough. So, I think that's a little better, that you can see me a little better. I know some of you, I left little messages on your vlogs to pray for my son and my family. My son is in the hospital up in Memphis, and nothing is physically wrong. So if there's nothing physically wrong, then it has to be something mentally wrong. Yes, there's something a little mentally wrong with him where he needs some time to talk things out with some professionals. So the devil is busy, but God is busier. So I'm asking prayers for him. And I don't know, I was just talking to my friend, so that's why I have my earphones in, but it may be better that you can hear me without all of this noise. Maybe not. I have to check. So with all of this going on, it started Wednesday, and we had to bring him up here on the anniversary of my mom's death Thursday. So Shane, guys, I've talked about Shane so much. You all, I know you feel like you know him. Well, not so much, but so he was very supportive Wednesday. Thursday morning, he was very supportive, and I guess I didn't make it clear to him other than going by the church for prayer, then heading out. See you soon. How much more did I have to say that we're headed up to Memphis? And I had already said where we were taking my son and everything. So he had already said, if you come to Memphis, you don't see me, it's going to be something. So I showed up, and it was raining like cats and dogs. And I showed up, and I said, but he was in a booth. He wasn't even in the building. He was in the ER booth to the parking lot. So he really couldn't see me. So I went on to my cousin's house, and on my way, he called me, and I was really a little upset that because I said, what do you want me to do? And he was like, well, what do you want? What do you mean? What do you want me to do? So I was just trying to take his cue, whether he was going to try to get back into the building to see me or not. But I was going to be there for a couple of days, few days or whatever, so he was going to have time to see me. So we talked, and he said, something that kind of was weird and kind of made me a little upset. And I told him I really need to talk to him about that, because he asked, well, why didn't his dad bring him? I said, well, his dad did bring him. I had to trail him because of the situation. Javon could not be alone in the car with me. So he did bring him, and he was like, oh, well, but I said, I came as well because that's my baby. That's my child. And he was like, I hate when mothers say, that's my baby. That's my child. Well, yeah, it is when I'm talking to you. Now, when I'm talking to his dad, yeah, sometimes it is, your child did this, or my child is doing this, or our child. But when I'm talking to another person who's not his parent, yes, it's my child. And he wanted to say, what's the difference between a mom and a dad? Oh, there's a big difference. There is a huge difference. And men who are outside of the home should realize there is a big difference, even inside the home. Traditionally, the wife takes on the role of rearing the children, and the men go out and provide. And his kids aren't with him, so I don't know why he would say something like stupid like that. What's the difference between a mom and a dad? Who cares for that child? Who carried that child? I say 10 months, because we actually carry a baby for 40 weeks. which to me is a full, where it's a full 9 weeks and right at, full 9 months and right at 10 months. We carry that child. That child grows inside of us. And he was like, oh, it's the thing between the chicken and the egg, which came first. You couldn't have had a child without the seed. True enough, but you couldn't have had a child without the egg either. But anyway, you can go into many arguments about that, and I wasn't going to argue with him about that. And I just, said, I don't care, what happens. I'm his mother, and I want to be here for my son. So we were fine the next day. We kept missing each other in the conversation and just trying to talk. When he called, the doctor was calling and talking to me, so I couldn't talk to him. And when I called back, he had administrators around him, and he couldn't answer his phone. So I finally texted him that night, made it to my cousins, and the next day. That was the next day. So I was texting him, wow, we haven't been able to talk to each other, and it's not via text or anything, and that's rare for us. We've never done that before. Our first night or our first day not talking to each other. And this is at 6 minutes. I'm gonna have to do a part 2. But so he finally did call and say his day was very busy. They were trying to rush emergency supplies to a newborn out in Germantown. So, okay. He was like, yeah. I was like, well, I did want to, we're having a party, and after the party, I want to, come and stay with you. He said, okay, you got your church clothes, because, I'm a guard at church, and, we got to be at church. I was like, yeah, I'm Baptist. Well, I'm Christian, but I used to be Baptist, and we're always church ready when we go out of town. We have a dress and some shoes. So I said, yeah, I'm ready. He said, okay. I said, well, good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I'm going to pause right there. Part 2.